Okay, mathematicians, so today we have Unit 8, Lesson 3. And today our focus is very similar to the last 2 days. We are going to convert, which means to change among metric units of mass. Mass is weight, how much something weighs, how much space it's taking up. So how much it weighs. So remember, metric units are base 10. So as we move in either direction, we're multiplying or dividing by 10. Okay, so it's just times 10, times 10, times 10, times 10. As we get larger, divided by 10, divided by 10, divided by 10, as we get smaller. And convert, we know, means to change. Okay, so units of mass are grams. So we've been using grams with science, so this is a great connection for us. And now we're going to look at how we can convert those grams to different units. And remember, we still have our same prefixes, kilo, hecto, and deca, as well as deci, centi, and milli. So we are still using King Henry. Let me rewrite that so it's a little more clear. Sorry about that. Okay. So we still have that same rule that we're following. King Henry died gracefully drinking chocolate milk. We just changed our base unit here to grams because that's what we're focusing on today. So if we look at some examples, looking at number 1, we have 3/100ths of a gram and we want to change that to milligrams. So we are starting here and we are going here. So we need to move 1, 2, 3 decimal places to the right. So we're going to take our decimal place and move 1, 2, 3 decimal places, which leaves us with 3 milligrams. Please try number 3 on your own. So we should have gotten 25 thousandths of a gram for that one. Our decimal points here. We need to move 1, 2, 3 to the left. 1, 2, 3 to the left. We have that empty hole, which we fill with that placeholder of a 0, leaving us with 25 thousandths of a gram. So the conversions are very similar. So let's talk about what we're doing mathematically. So here, if we have 25 milligrams, how many milligrams are in a gram? Remember, it's times 10. So this is 1, this would be 10, this would be 1,000. So how many milligrams are in a gram? 1,000. Okay. Now, are we going from smaller to larger or larger to smaller? Larger to smaller. So we're dividing by 1,000, which is going to leave us, oops, with that. Okay, so just make sure you're understanding that mathematical part of it too. Okay, so let's look at our real world problems here. So I'm going to move to page 272. Okay, so we're going to look at some real world problems here in using these metric conversions of mass. And these are going to be multi-step problems. So let's look at number 13. Hero has 5 kilograms of potatoes and 2 kilograms of onions. He plans to use 3 25/100 kilograms of potatoes and 500 grams of onions for a recipe. How many total kilograms of the produce will not be used? Okay. So total kilograms will not be used. Does the question ask you to separate the two potatoes and onions? No, it actually asks you to combine them. It says total kilograms of the produce. Onions and potatoes are both produce. So how could we go about solving this? What are our steps that we need to do? Remember, it's a multi-step problem. So there's definitely going to be more than one. So what do we need to do to solve this? Kira, what do you think?
I think that we need to start off with, we need to subtract 5 from 3 and 2500 to find out how much young potatoes
Okay, so just focus on potatoes first. So we can focus on potatoes, and then we can focus on onions, and then combine those two amounts. Okay, so if we have 5 kilograms of potatoes that he has, and 3 and 2500 kilograms were used, what do we need to do? Do we need any conversions? Is it the same unit? It is. So we don't need to convert anything. We just need to figure out how many were left over, right? So we have 5 kilograms minus 3 and 2500 kilograms. So if we solve this, do you agree with my math?
Yes.
Okay, so now we need to look at onions, right? We've got the potatoes, we need to look at onions. What onions weren't used? So 2 kilograms of onions is what he had. He used 500 grams. So do we have the same units? Okay, so we have to do a conversion first. Since we left this in kilograms, why don't we go from grams to kilograms? So we need to convert 550 grams to kilograms. Okay, so if we have 500 grams and we're going to kilograms, we need to go 1, 2, 3 to the left, 1, 2, 3 to the left. So we have 550 thousandths of a kilogram. Actually move this down here. And he started with how many kilograms? 2. Okay, so we need to take 2 and subtract, 550 thousandths. Now notice I have to line up my decimals when I'm subtracting and adding, so I have to keep those lined up. And now I'm going to do my borrowing. Do you agree with my math? Okay, and this is in kilograms. All right, so now I know how many potatoes were left over and how many onions were left over. So what do I need to do next? Add both of those totals together. So I need to take 1 and 75 thousandths or hundredths kilograms. And I need to add 1 and 45 hundredths kilograms. And that's going to give me a total of the produce left over. Do you agree with my math? Just checking myself. Now it asks us how many will not be used. We have that, and it asked for it in total kilograms. Are we in kilograms? Okay, so we don't need to convert anymore. So this would be our final answer. Okay, so we could have 3 and 20 hundredths kilograms, and our label would be of produce. Okay, so again, it's taking the problem and breaking it down step by step to seeing what do I need to know first to get to my answer or my solution, and then definitely paying attention to the units of measurement to make sure that they are equivalent. Okay, so for Think Central, you won't have homework tonight, but we'll be doing it on Monday in class. That's what you'll come into, is 8-3. That's what you'll do during that time. And it's just like last night's where there's 6 conversions, straight up conversions, and then 3 word problems. Okay, the word problems seem to be giving us the hardest part. The conversions seem like it's natural now. We've got it. Okay, all right. Good job today, mathematicians.